Hey guys, it's Miss Kraut with your homework today for Tuesday, February the 4th. So I'm going to do the odd problems with you. So let's start with number 1. You have 2 and 1/8 minus 1 and 2/8. First thing you're going to do is that's not good. First thing you're going to do is you're going to look for the common denominator to see. Do you have a common denominator already? Yes, 8 is already a common denominator. So that means you can go ahead with your operation, okay, which is subtraction. So I can't do 1 minus 2. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change this to a 1, and then I'm going to add 8 over 8. So remember, basically what you did is you just made change kind of. Okay, so now you have 8 over 8, and you use the 8 because you want the same common denominator, and 8 over 8 just equals 1. So the only thing I did was I took 1 from here and added it over here as a fraction. Okay, so now I have 1 plus 8 is 9, and then I keep my denominator. This is going to cancel out. 1 minus 1 is 0. So now I have 9 minus 2, which is 7/8. So since 7 and 8 are right next to each other on the number line, you're done. You don't have to put it in the ladder because it's already in its simplest form. So the answer to number 1 is 7/8. Okay, let's look at number 3. Number 3, again, another subtraction problem. So now we have 2 and 1/5 minus 1 and 2/5, right? So what we're doing here is we have the same denominator, so we don't need to get a common denominator. So we can go ahead and subtract. But I can't subtract 1 minus 2, so I'm going to change this in. I'm going to change this to a 1, and then I'm going to add 5 over 5 over here, right? Because I'm just taking 1 from here and adding 1 over here as a fraction. Then I have 5 plus 1 is 6, so I have 6/5. And this 1 minus 1 is 0. So now I have 6 minus 2, which is 4. And then I keep my denominator. So for number 3, the answer is 4/5. All right, number 5 says 1/2 plus 1/8. Okay, the first thing I need to do is find a common denominator, right? So in order to do that, I'm going to put it in the ladder. I put my 2 and my 8 in the ladder. Then I'm going to pull out a prime number, right? Which I'm going to pull out a 2. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 8 4 times. And then I can't go any lower than that. So I am going to multiply these together. 2 times 1 is 2. And then 2 times 4 is 8. So 8 is my common denominator. If you didn't understand how I did that, rewind this and go back to it and try it. Listen to it again until you understand it. All right. The next one is going to be, this is the same. Hello. And then I'm going to say self. How did you get from 2 to 8? And that's times 4. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So I have 4 plus 1 is 5/8. So for number 5, the answer is 5/8. All right, guys, the secret word for today is going to be soccer. So remember that. Write it down if you have to. But that's the secret word, is soccer. Okay, so number 7. An empty bulldozer weighed 10 6/8 tons. If it scooped up 6 5/8 tons of dirt, what would be the combined weight of the bulldozer and dirt? Answer as a mixed number. Okay, so they're wanting to know the bulldozer by itself weighs 10 6/8 tons. Wow. And then it says if it scooped up 6 5/8, so it added the weight of 6 5/8 to the bulldozer. It wants to know what is the combined weight. So we have to add these. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a common denominator, which I already have one. So now I can just go ahead and add. So 6 plus 5 is 11. And then I keep my denominator. 10 plus 6 is 16. However, you're not done because this is an improper fraction. Remember, improper fraction, the denominator is your dog, and he goes outside. So we have 8 into 11, right? 8 goes into 11 once. 1 times 8 is 8. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 3. So I have 1 and 3/8. So we no longer have this 11 and 11/8. It's now 1 and 3/8. So now we can just add that. So now I have 17 and 3/8. And we'll put that in the ladder, 3/8. 3 won't go into 8, so that's in its lowest terms. So the answer to number 7 is 17 and 3/8. If you're not sure how I did that, go back and look at it. Okay, number 9. A small box of nails was 6 9/10 inches tall. If the large box of nail was 10 5/10 inches taller, how tall is the large box of nails? All right, so this is one I like to draw a picture of to help me understand it. So it's saying, why don't I have enough room here? Okay, a small box of nails. So we have our small box of nails is 6 9/10 inches tall. Okay, if the large box of nails was 6, it's 6 9/10 plus 10 5/10. So this is the small box and this is the large box. So now we're trying to figure out how big is the large box. So we have to add that. So I'm going to say 10 5/10 plus 6 9/10. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have the same least common denominator, which I do, which is 10. And then I can go ahead and add. 5 plus 9 is 14 and keep my denominator, and then that's 16. Oh, you can't even see. Okay, so what's wrong with this, though? This, if you leave your answer like this, it's going to be wrong because that's an improper fraction, okay? So now I've got to put my dog outside. 10 into 14, that's 1. 4 left over. So now this 14/10 becomes 1 and 4/10. So now I'm going to add that together with 17 and 4/10. You see that? 17 and 4/10. But we're not done yet because I know both of these are even numbers. So I have to put it in the ladder, the 4 and the 10. I'm going to take out 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Both of those are prime numbers, so we're done. So the final answer is 17 and 2/5. All right, guys, if you didn't understand any of those, please go back and watch the video again because the test on Friday is coming up, and you want to make sure that you get a good grade on that. So the answer to number 9 was 17 and 2/5. All right, guys, have a good night. I will see you tomorrow.